Your true self is not defined by your moments of weakness, but by the patterns of your consistency. It is very easy to judge others and even ourselves based on emotional outbursts or reactions in times of stress. You know, Yet those are not reflections of who we are. They are reflections of what we are struggling with. You know, True character is measured not by perfection, but by persistence, by the values and intentions we return to again and again, despite temporary lapses. In moments of anger, fear, or even pain, the nervous system reacts faster than the conscious mind. You may say or even do things that don't align with your core values. Not because you have changed, but because you're overwhelmed. You know, the danger lies in mistaking these moments as your identity. People will often remember the explosion and forget the gentleness that preceded it. Because the human mind is wired to hold on to threats more than peace. That's why kindness, though quieter, requires more strength. Because it is a decision, not a reaction. You know, Consistency builds trust, both in yourself and in how others perceive you. It is not about being calm or kind all the time, but about returning to those states as your foundation. If your default nature is compassion, then even when you lose your temper, you'll seek to make amends. That return, that correction is where your true self resides. You know, Psychologically, identity is shaped by repetition. The neural pathways formed through consistent behavior define a personality more than isolated emotional spikes. You know, a person who repeatedly practices empathy wires their brain towards connection, while someone who repeatedly indulges resentment strengthens alienation. Thus, your true self is not what you do under pressure, but what you train yourself to return to when the pressure passes. You know, the act of returning, of regulating, apologizing, reflecting, that is proof of emotional maturity. You know, Moreover, people's tendency to remember anger over kindness is a cognitive bias rooted in survival. The mind is drawn to intensity, to what feels dangerous, because it demands attention. But emotionally intelligent individuals don't let external perception define their internal truth. You know, Spiritually, your true self is your essence, untainted by reactions, roles, or even ego, or even anger, sadness. Name all those emotions. Fear. All those are just clouds passing through your sky. They don't change the sky itself. You know, Kindness, compassion, and even awareness are the natural states of the soul. The more you live from that place, the less you are defined by your storms. You know, in short, your true self is your consistency, the quiet pattern of who you choose to be when no one is watching. Even if people remember your anger more than your kindness, don't let that distort your essence. Stay kind. The storm will pass, but the sky, that is your truth, remains. My people, heal. Heal.